happened to me where not that.
What? Wait, what happened now?
No. One time I remember
you tell. Hello, one and all, and welcome to another episode of Between Sisters. I am Kaya, your host, and we have something to say. Today is nothing but hot topics. Marriage boot camp just ended its season, and there was a very controversial event that happened, and it was between Tahiry and Vado. Now, Vado put hands on Tahiry after an experiment that Dr. Ish had done. Each couple had to know what the other couple's issues were with them, and if that person did any of that, the other person had to shock them.
Mm-hmm. Right. You could always go back and look at the clip. But Tahiry was a little off the cuff, and Vado had enough, and Vado put hands on her. He yoked her up in front of everybody.
Right.
Now that was the headlines.
Right.
And then Vado was escorted from the house, and he had to finish the program from the hotel room. He could not finish and be in the house with Tahiry. Now, on the show, they also showed prior to that, Tahiry throwing green apples at Vado's face.
Right.
But that part of the incident has gotten overlooked by the fact that Vado put hands on her.
Right.
Now, I want to say, I don't condone a man putting their hands on any woman.
Right.
As well as I don't condone a woman putting their hands on a man. So we've been fighting the feminist movement, and we've been trying to do all of this stuff, you know, and get equality as women. But as soon as it's something like that happens, I'm a woman. He never put his hands on me. Now, I could throw apples at his face from a point blank range, and that's all right. But he better not touch me. What say ye?
Okay. No, both sides were absolutely wrong. I do not condone anything that happened. But the only thing that got me was like, it calmed down, and he was just, you could just tell he was thinking about it. I think there he should have had more control, like, because it was just like, that happened already. That happened earlier. So you was just sitting there thinking about it, like, I'm gonna get her right now. And it's just like, bro, you should have just calmed down and just, you know, controlled yourself a little bit. But I understand his anger, because if somebody hit me with an apple, that's it. But like, it's just, you could have controlled it a little bit, and you could have talked about it or whatever, because at the end of the day, you're just gonna look like the angry black man. The strong, angry black man that should have, you know, that's going to get more of the backlash than what she's going to get.
But I just think that, I mean, okay, yes, I know I am married to a 6'1", like 200 and some odd pound man. I'm 5'2". If I hit him, I can't be like, oh my God, he hit me. And it's just like, yes, I understand that a man should never put hands on a female. But you shouldn't put your hands on him either.
Well, technically, she didn't put hands on him. She put apples.
She threw hard green apples at his face. That is.
We don't know if they were Golden Delicious or Granny Smith.
Those look like green apples that you make apple pie with. Them things.
That's a weapon.
Or maybe they were ripened and it was really soft.
Like, it's just like, bro, you could have just. I know, but you could have kept your composure a little bit. Because it was like everybody was calm, everybody's talking. He just got up and was just like,
well, I think
he was in like Birdman, like Keisha always said, he was rubbing his hands like Birdman. Because she kept pushing. She was just I think he was trying to push me to do so and so. So she kept on talking reckless.
Right.
And he was just like,
he was sitting there like, all right.
Okay. He glided. You said he glided. He just went. He was just like,
but he didn't hit her.
No, right.
He put his hands on her. I'm not defending.
So wrong.
Vado. I'm not defending Vado.
Yes, it's still wrong.
You're not defending Vado.
I'm not defending.
But see, in a case like this, it always brings me back to think about Chris Brown and Rihanna.
But can I just say, and in that, if you don't want a man to hit you,
like keep your hands to yourself.
Your hands to yourself, because if I hit my husband and he hit me back, you know, people are like, well, he shouldn't hit her. Yeah, well, I hit him. So I gotta be ready for 9 times out of 10 what could come behind me putting my hands on a man. I am not justifying violence. That is not what I'm doing.
We're justifying having it be an equal responsibility to both parties.
You know what it is? I think we're so focused on women being abused that we forget that women are abusers.
Yes.
Women physically abuse men. Men generally do not speak on the physical abuse that they receive from a woman because it makes a man look weak.
That's that, right.
But there are a number of cases where women have been the physical abuser.
Right.
I just found it odd that, and I don't watch Marriage Boot Camp. I'll be honest with you guys. I saw all of the stuff and it prompted me to watch the episode because now I want to see what happened so I can say something about it because I don't want to speak on something without having seen it. I did find it odd that we saw her throw these apples at him and she did it out of anger. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, oh, I'm playing. No, it was done out of anger. And as the weeks went by, you know, we saw Dr. Ish speak to Vado about what happened. And some people were like, oh, you know, it was a delayed response. I think it was, he didn't react when it happened. However, when they all sat in the group and she still was talking. And still going on. More in the sense of justifying her bad behavior.
Right.
Yeah. Because remember, I think, and I believe Hazel E did it too, to her man. She mushed him in the head. Like, there was a lot of denigrating to the black men in this particular show. I was like, wow, is that how you talk to the person that you love?
But, you know, and when they did the experiment with the little kids, you know, acting out as the younger them, very good because it shows you where the root of some of their behaviors came from. I just found it very strange that as more people gave Tahiry flack for her behavior and what she did, it now turned into, well, I've been abused. I was in an abusive relationship with my last partner. So now you're saying I gotta defend myself. I'm always on the defense, and you know I got people that rely on me, and I'm taking care of people. It brought it back to she was the victim, not the aggressor.
Yeah,
we saw Tahiry being the aggressor.
Yeah, and she got off scot-free. She got off scot-free.
She was the aggressor, and because of that notion, a man should not put his hand on a woman. No. If you don't want someone to put their hands on you, you keep your damn hands to yourself.
I agree.
And I am not justifying domestic violence
at all.
However, what we witnessed was Tahiry being an aggressor. And her latest defense is, and we know that she was speaking about who her previous boyfriend was, that she is now saying that, you know, he broke a rib. Again, I find it very odd that if now your behavior is a reflection of stuff that has happened to you in the past. And I know women react differently from past trauma, traumatic experience. I do understand that as well. Why were you willing and took part in returning to another reality show with said abuser after you and this abuser were no longer together, to actually have a storyline where someone could actually be reconnecting you with your abuser? What do most women want to get away from in an abusive relationship? Their abuser. We also know the syndrome where, most women, they do stay with their abuser. However, she was separated from her abuser. Her abuser was in a new relationship and had started a family with someone new. And her whole storyline, well, part of her storyline was people trying to hook her up with her abuser, that she is now kind of stating that a lot of that anger that she has in her that was displayed against Vado comes from said abuser.
So that kind
What
of
people do for money.
Oh yeah.
My thing is, let's not forget, Tahiry was the aggressor in that situation.
But the question is, how often have she been? So she must have been the aggressor in many relationships.
And this is the thing, because when her previous boyfriend spoke out and said that their relationship was toxic, they were young and it was not good for them. It only alludes to the fact, you can take that conversation however you want to take it, but it clearly shows you that she may have been angry then. It may have been times where she probably mushed him or pushed him and he may have responded back. Again, I'm not supporting domestic violence, but we know that these are situations that have happened. I know there's been times when I've been the aggressor.
We all know that because women are the more emotional beings, the outwardly emotional beings. And you know how we get when we get to a point, what, I don't care, that comes like, like you waking
We'll
up.
jump in the man's face, we'll pop off, we'll do all of
and push the head back.
Aggressive behavior. And when we do that, we are the aggressor.
Right.
And
But see, people need to understand that when that happens, and I always bring it back to the Chris Brown Rihanna, because I really think that he suffered so much because he had to bear the whole brunt of it on his shoulders, on his back. His whole persona is now, oh, he's a woman. Like, he's still known as that. And that happened when he was what, 20, 21?
Yeah.
Like he was my son's age. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm sure Rihanna got mad because she saw text messages.
She said, I bet you can't dance.
And she got up in his face. She probably did the whole whatever and pat, all of that. And Chris blacked out.
Yeah.
But even in his blacking out and after everything that happened after that, he never once threw her under the bus.
Never.
Never threw her.
And a lot of times when women go back to the guy, because she went back to him, she knows what happened in that car.
But she never once said, let me save you.
She didn't. You know why? Because her publicist probably told her to keep her mouth shut.
But that goes back to you, Keish. She want to get into heaven. You want to listen to your publicist?
Well, and I don't want to jump off of this subject, but it goes into the incident with Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. So we knew that we knew she was shot. We knew who was there. Most people were speculating it was Tory. She never said it was Tory. We know that she didn't say because she didn't want anything to happen to him in the climate that we're living in.
Right.
I understand that.
Her, but baby girl.
My attitude was, I'm telling. You shot me. You shot me. I'm telling.
Yeah, but that's not snitching.
It's not snitching.
But the fact that she even had that in her brain.
But you know what is odd, because now, we know that the night of that incident, he did send her a text message apologizing
Saying
to
I was-
her, you know, for the
I was
incident,
drunk.
and his you know response, you know, was, you know, he apologized, he's so sorry, and you know, he basically blamed it on the alcohol. And some people like, oh, that could be BS, you know, that's used. I've seen people inebriated to the point where they've been violent and done stupid sugar honey iced tea that they didn't realize. So it does happen. People need to understand that alcohol is a very mighty drug.
Alcohol is worse than
It,
crack cocaine sometimes.
that's right. And people, I don't think people take drinking for oh, it's just a drink, it's just a drink. I think most of y'all know my attitude when it comes to drinking. I'm very fearful of people intoxicated. I have a fear of intoxicated people. And I'm not a hypocrite because I drink my wine, but I am fearful of people when they're under the influence of alcohol, because I have seen abuse. I've been abused by someone under the influence of alcohol. So I do understand it. I believe that the alcohol
Mhm.
Did it?
play a huge factor in what happened. Doesn't make it right.
Mhm.
Not saying that to make it right.
And going back to, like I said, with Rihanna, knowing what happened in that car, Meg know what she said to that dude before he shot in the foot.
Yeah.
She wasn't singing one of her hot girl songs.
Right, we don't,
It got
right.
shot.
There was something happened. Right,
Something
something happened.
So
Because
she-
even under
I'm not
alcohol,
the gun being shot.
Gun.
right, even under alcohol, he just pulled out his gun and said, "Pop, pop." Like, huh?
Yeah, that's some
What?
next level stuff.
Now again, we don't know if maybe he was being aggressive coming on to her.
Right.
Because we
True.
also know alcohol
Yes.
can lead people to do.
And it might have been like the scene in Harlem Nights where she, because
Well, it could,
I wish the nigga would shoot me in my foot. Shoot me in my foot.
but what I'm saying is no. But what I'm saying is he could have probably tried. He could have tried to sexually assault her. I don't know, but that plays a factor with people intoxicated.
And the fact
Right.
that he was willing to like take the L and be like, I'm shot. But, you know, until she got all of the backlash.
It was just, I think the unfortunate part is when his people try to just throw mud on her.
And that's when you have those handlers. That's why you have to have the right people that have.
Yeah,
like
before they
he
just,
said, they want to go to heaven.
before they used it, before they allowed him to turn himself in and, you know, go before the judges, say he needs a drug program.
Mm-hmm. He
I'm
definitely.
an alcoholic.
Yeah,
I need help.
I don't know how
That's
to
what-
deal with my liquor.
That's what should have happened at that time. That his handlers should have had him turn himself in
Mm-hmm.
instead of
When
muddying.
you have handlers that's like, if they don't work, I don't get paid. Like that's what happened with Whitney Houston. That's what happens with so many people, that they have people around them that don't really want the best for them. They want the best for themselves.
So now what happens? So now what happens if his immigration, he has issues with his immigration and he isn't allowed to travel and perform because he's a Canadian citizen and they don't allow him to come and perform in this country? They don't get paid.
No.
You still don't get paid.
Either way. So with alcoholism and the stain that it carries on so many relationships, and it's just not hot when you cannot control your liquor. Andrew Gillum came out this week and he did an interview with Tamron Hall about his alleged tryst with two men
His March 11th incident
in a hotel room this year. Now, anybody that doesn't know, Andrew Gillum was the front runner for Florida's governor, and he literally lost that election by 0.5%. 0.5%. So he obviously went through all kinds of
emotional
and all kinds of emotions due to the loss of that election.
By 0.5%.
And he came on Tamron Hall and he told his story. He came out as saying that he was bisexual, which is none of our business.
Right.
And his wife was with him, but he blamed it on alcohol.
He said all of that happened because of alcohol. He went to sleep, he fell out, and then when he woke up, it was
the room full of people
he
there
had
for aid.
Yeah.
That has happened to me where not that. Not that.
Wait, what happened now?
No. One time I remember
Do tell.
We were in
Quiche, yes.
No, we were many times I've gotten a little inebriated and woke up on somebody else. But I remember one time I had drank so much and we were at a bar in the hotel. Now, mind you, I don't like cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. And all I remember is coming to, and I'm standing by the slot machines with a group of Caucasian women smoking a cigarette. What the hell? And that was off of liquor. And we don't even smoke. I'm smoking. I don't smoke. I got asthma.
You don't even smoke.
I'm smoking a cigarette, and I don't know who gave me the cigarette. I don't know who lit the cigarette. I was sitting there smoking cigarettes with a bunch of women I never even.
Where was your husband? Where was your husband?
He was in the bar somewhere.
You know,
He was inebriated too.
You know y'all gotta take turns. Y'all can't both do it at the same time. Y'all gotta take turns.
I appeared with these women.
Hilarious.
But the Andrew Gillum situation is alcohol that could have played a huge factor. I mean, we saw the picture of him laying in his vomit.
And that was so like, obviously I'm not trying to make it a white thing, a black thing, but you seen the white foot like standing over him taking a picture, and I'm just like.
Well, here's the crazy thing. I mean, I have my own theory about that evening and how that whole thing played out, because he could intoxicated. I believe he could have been very well have been inebriated. It's just so crazy that the person took the pictures. We saw the foot, but the person who was in the room, which is why, he opened and shared to the world that he is bisexual. He's not gay, he's bisexual. I think that's why he opened up to the world to explain, because everyone's question was, well, Andrew Gillum was in a hotel room with the man. He was passed out in his vomit and the man OD'd. So we needed to, they put up the story as to why Andrew Gillum could have been naked in a room with the man. Although he said there was no sex, he was naked.
He also said that he went to rehab 3 to 4 days later, and they do a drug test
screening. There was no drugs in his system. Alcohol he very well could have passed out and blacked out from alcohol.
I think every one of us in this group we all have experience with alcoholism. Have families. Alcoholism is rooted and grounded.
So we know that a person can black out and not know what happened. So I'm
mad at you right now.
Right. You don't remember. Okay. Just listen to the recording. Just listen to this recorded. But anyway.
I used to look down, like when I used to watch Maury Povich and these chicks was like, they don't know who the father is because they blacked out at a party. I ain't like, yeah, right. But when it happened to me, I didn't black out at a party. I just played it.
It was in public. It was in public.
But I had a whole.
Your husband was there, so it was.
Okay, now I know, because now I experienced it. Now I know what that is.
I never blacked out before.
You fell out.
I fell.
I blacked out in Vegas, and I don't drink heavy unless my husband is there, because I know he got my back and he won't let nobody take advantage of me.
Same here.
But in Vegas with my girls on the floor in the room, they had to.
Like I'm
with the ass up too.
I don't know.
No, I was fully clothed. I was fully closed.
Listen, if somebody in this room tell you that they feeling sexy, all I'm saying is just keep your eye on them for the remainder of the evening.
Sexy.
hear Keisha say, I'm a bad bitch, I'm like, that's
You know, Kevin,
Just
you
make
know
sure that if it's just the two of y'all hanging out together, that you got your dog leash with you. You got her strapped to you.
I know that I gotta be the one that is sober and just drink my Shirley Temples with extra cherries. You know?
But in all seriousness, it's so unfortunate that these incidents have happened under, what we've just seen with the Vado situation with Tahiry, and then, hearing of other issues that she may have experienced, and then hearing, Tory Lanez did text Meg that evening apologizing and blaming it on alcohol, and then seeing Andrew Gillum on Town Hall stating that it was alcohol that, was the issue. The stories between these incidents were anger and alcohol.
And those things should never be mixed.
Anger can drive you to do things and that will land you to face serious consequences, and alcohol will drive you to do things that will allow you to face serious consequences.
But there is a way for you to get up from it. You don't have to stay in that space. You can move forward and you can change the narrative for yourself. Like people, you're the news story of today. But these people in today's society, they don't have a long thought process on something. It's whatever's in the news cycle, and when it's over,
it's over.
To the next one.
They moved on.
And you're yesterday's news. So you can reinvent yourself and say, you know what, I ain't gonna let this happen again. Now I know. I don't even understand why he was in the hotel with the guys. He's been prepped. Every politician of that caliber has been prepped. Or what to do, what not to do, who to speak to, who not to speak to.
We saw the mayor of DC on camera smoking a crack pipe.
Yes.
And what happened to that same mayor of DC?
Reelected. It's like 7 again.
but that's why I'm stating that. But that's why I'm saying Tory Lanez's people should have had him turn himself in, and his argument is, I'm an alcoholic. I need help.
Yes. Right. Yeah. I agree.
Don't try to gain the world
that far. Right. It didn't have to go as far as it did.
So what are the takeaways, ladies?
Oh my gosh.
Anger and alcohol don't mix.
If you have anger issues, there are ways to deal with anger issues. I'm not ashamed to state that I've gone through anger management. I still struggle with anger from time to time.
We all do.
Alcohol,
especially in 2020.
It's hard. It's hard to not be angry.
I'm not really angry right now. I'm just
tired.
Just over it.
Yeah,
I'm over it.
And alcohol is the devil. Alcohol is the devil. I'm sorry.
I don't think he knew what was happening when he turned water into wine. I don't think he knew what was going to happen.
And again, I'm not being a prude. I know everybody talks about, I'm the downer when everybody's at the party, but I drink my wine. I am cool and content with my wine. I know when I've had enough glasses and to stop drinking. So, I mean, that's my story. So I'm not being a hypocrite because I'll sip some stronger stuff from time to time, but I know when to stop myself. But alcohol is the devil. Alcohol is the devil.
It's a hell of a drug.
It sure is.
In my town, they don't sell alcohol after a certain time. You can't go into no liquor stores and get anything stronger than a beer.
What's beer?
Coronavirus.
There's a pen agent.
Don't let your past outweigh your future. You're always able and always should be willing to turn your life around for the better.
Stay tuned for scenes from the next episode of Between Sisters.
Portion of it too, where we complain about it's costing us more to support us.
Yeah.
People were complaining about Swiss Beats and Timberland making money, and we ain't had to pay nothing.
Right.
So it's just like you're always gonna get the people that they ain't never happy. Leave them where they at. They'll be the bandwagon sooner or later.
Yeah.
But for the people that are, we gonna rock together and we gonna get this done.
Yeah.
Period.
And with this, it's for them, and then it's for their children, and then grandchildren and great grandchildren, and them, and on and on and on. So